What's up, everybody? Mark with Coffee and Toys here, bringing you another figure unboxing and review. That's right, it's Saturday, so we get to unbox on the channel today some non-G.I. Joe figures. That's right, it's been a while since I've done non-G.I. Joe. It's been a really long while since I've done Marvel Legends. That's right, today on the channel we will be unboxing the latest offering from Hasbro of the Iron Man. Iron Man Wave 1 Retro. Let's talk about it. Holy cow, making a mess. But of course, before we get into unboxing all these Iron Man figures, let's talk about the coffee you're drinking. The coffee I am drinking and the coffee you should be drinking should come from coffeebrandcoffee.com. Yes, coffeebrandcoffee.com can supply all your coffee needs, whether you just like it simple with K-cups or whether you want whole beans shipped straight to your door. You can be part of their subscription service, or hey, maybe you just need a really cool cup like this to help get your coffee to and from. I am actually drinking the bourbon flavored coffee today, and let me tell you, smells wonderful, tastes wonderful, a little light for I wish I had a little deeper taste to it, but man, it is something special. So with that being said, make sure you use the discount code Coffee&Toys, that's COFFEENTOYS, or use the link in the description below. But with that, what we do on the channel, today I will go through all these figures. I didn't get the entire wave. I just got all the Iron Man armors from this wave. Just decided to go ahead and do it, see what it was all about. But we will unbox each figure, we'll compare them, we'll accessorize them, and I'll tell you about ultimately how I feel about these figures. With that said, I did pick these figures up at my local Target on discount because they were on sale for $17.49 each. And I said, what the heck? They were all there with the exception of She-Hulk. She was not on the pegs, but the entire wave except She-Hulk was there. That includes also Whiplash and doesn't say on the back who the other ones are. Whiplash is another one, and some other guy that I don't remember. Somebody can tell me in the comments who it is. But I just decided I'd pick up these guys at the price tag of $17.49 instead of the normal $24.99. Got to get a deal where you can, and if they'd been straight up, if they'd been 25 bucks, I would have skipped them. Or I wouldn't have bought all three of them. But yeah, that Target sale might still be going on today. I think it ends tomorrow. But yeah, $17.49 for three brand new figures. Count me in. Had to pick them up. I'll probably wind up giving them to my kid afterwards just to play with. But yeah, with that being said, we'll unbox them. First, we'll look at them in the package. We'll talk about it. Then we'll unbox them. And we'll accessorize them, and I'll let you know what I think. That being said, let's hop on over and let's check out these figures. Okay, as you can see, I have them all lined up here together. Just barely fit on my blue background. And yeah, this is the first official wave of the Iron Man Retro Classic, call it what you will. Essentially, you know, Hasbro's playing the game, pulling on those nostalgia chords for all of us that grew up with the Iron Man cartoon show. I definitely collected this line as a kid, and so, I mean, when I saw these on the pegs, it did make me physically stop in my tracks and say, oh, these look kind of neat. And I had to check them out. Of course, this was the guy that was in the front, and then right behind him was him, and then right behind him was him. So we had all three Iron Man up in front, and at first I was just going to get the gold one, and then I found out that they were on sale, and I said, what the heck, I'm going to get all three of them. And yeah, so basically, I don't think we need to look at each one of them super up close. We'll just use this one as the example. So you can see it's got that classic look. The very thick card back stock is very nice. Of course, you got the Iron Man logo, and it tells you right here which version of Iron Man it is. This is obviously Model 1 in gold. And yeah, we get a nice loadout for each Iron Man. This one especially because it comes with the Tony Stark head, which I will go through and put on each one of these bodies as we go through the review. And yeah, you got your Hasbro logo down there on the corner. Spin around to the back, of course, you do get a little tiny blurb about Tony. If I can get it to fit on my screen. Let's move it up so you can actually read it. When Tony Stark decides that Iron Man needs an outfit upgrade, he faces off against the hypnotic Gargantus wearing golden armor. And then, of course, it's repeated in alternate, different languages. And then, of course, moving down the figure, we do see that we get, you know, here's what basically goes on. You get some blast effects, some different hands you can swap in, and of course, the Tony Stark alternate face. And then, I think this is just a date stamp for when it was boxed. And then down on the bottom, of course, we do get all the legalese and the UPC. Nothing on the sides, just the plastic window. And yeah, let's go ahead and get him set off to the side, and we will now turn our attention to this Iron Man. I guess we will look at all of them. Zoom out. So, of course, this is Iron Man Model 9. This is kind of that classic cartoon-looking Iron Man. Very late 60s Iron Man. And the same thing. Gets a few blast effects. The alternate hand. Spinning him over, we get to see here's how it swaps out. And for this one, we do get... I do like that they've drawn the pictures in kind of a cartoony look. I do appreciate that a lot. Following a devastating loss to firepower, Tony Stark pours his skill into designing an experimental new Iron Man suit to defend Stark Industries. So again, very, very cool. We'll go ahead and put him back. And then finally, last but certainly not least, we do get the Iron Man Model 20 armor. Face is kind of interesting on it. Looks very extremist. But yeah, I think this is one a lot of newer fans are familiar with. Of course, this one gets a whole bunch of different blast effects, a little more sharpened. And we've seen these blast effects with Iron Man before. Spinning around to the back, let's see, the Iron Man Model 20. With Stark Tech wreaking havoc in the wrong hands, Iron Man dons a new high-tech suit designed to fight the evils of the world. And of course, looking down on it, we do see that, you know, just another swappable hands and some blast effects. All right, with that being said, let me take these three. I'll get them all unboxed, and then we'll talk about them once we have them unboxed. Okay, I've managed to get all the figures out of their plastic prisons, and yeah, nice little lineup we got here of the Iron Man. Basically started my own Hall of Armor without meaning to. So yeah, articulation on these guys is going to be roughly the same. But we will start with Model 1 Gold. And this is probably, like I said, just on first looks my favorite one, just because it's nice to see the Mark 1 armor, or they call it the Model 1 armor, in gold. I always thought that was neat in the comics when he switched it over, made it gold. Obviously, what people are going to be interested in is, you know, what's inside there. Of course, those are just, there's not a face underneath there by any stretch of the imagination, but it does look very, very nice that there is some depth to those eyeballs. I'm trying to get it with the camera so you can kind of see, you know, what exactly is going on in there. But yeah, it's very nice. It's got a nice bit of depth to it. And yeah, zooming back out, of course, it's got all the standard articulation. Neck's on a ball joint. We've got 360 at the arms. We've got single jointed on... Oh, no, actually, it is double jointed. Just let's see if we can get it to actually bend. I don't think you can, because I think the actual armor is going to get in the way. So it's a double jointed arm that can't actually double joint. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't actually double joint. That's interesting. Double jointed arm that can't actually double bend in all the way. So, yeah, you can see it's clearly got the double joint. But anyway, so you got that. You got the movement at the wrist. Does this open, or is that just a really solid line? Let's see. Focus there on the arm. That is just a really deep groove in the armor. So yeah, it does have some waist articulation. Very, very tight. But it is a ball joint, so you can move it around. Of course, he has the thigh cut, so he can move here. Legs are limited quite a bit by the, I guess I'll call it a skirt. This is just plastic. Looks like you might actually be able to unsnap it. Nope. No, you can't. Okay. Moving down, we do have the double jointed knee, which can actually still can't bend all the way. Interesting. That is not a groove cut, so that does not move. I thought it might. So yeah, he's actually limited in articulation, which actually is kind of good considering it's the Model 1 armor. And then, of course, we do have rocker ankles as well. So yeah, overall, a fun figure. Good one out of the gate. Let's go ahead and set him back down. And, of course, let's move on to, what did we say this was, Mark 9? Model 9. I keep calling it wrong. So this is the Model 9 Iron Man. And this is probably, this is kind of your classic Iron Man. You think of the cartoon, you picture this one. And, of course, he's, you know, he's Tony Stark. That's who he is inside this outfit. He does have pinned knees, but you can see they are double jointed. I like the thicker gauntlets at the top and the feet at the bottom. That's kind of reminiscent of that classic suit. And, yeah, of course, he does not have He can go this way, but he doesn't have any butterfly articulation, but he does have a bicep cut right there, so that's nice. Same on the other. He is double jointed at the elbows, so that's good. But again, those gauntlets get in the way. It makes it difficult for him to kind of get into the coolest of positions. But again, nice golds, shiny red. You know, he's got ab crunch, which the other one did not have, and he also turns at the waist. And we'll go through the accessories for each of them here in a moment as well. And then finally, of course, we have the more modern Iron Man take. As you know, this is the whatever they call the Model 20, and I think again this is the one most fans are used to. This is probably the one that looks closest to the movies. And yeah, you've got everything with this Iron Man. He's got these movable shoulder pads, so that's nice. Of course, he's got the more slick down gauntlets. He's of course got pinless elbow. Well, I said they are. Oh, they are pinless. That's just a covering. And of course, he can bend a little bit better. He can utilize that double joint a lot better. He's got these cool little wing effects in the back. Those are nice. Moving down the body, you can see he does have a pinless joints at the knee. That's just an add-on. Of course, he can get a lot better movement than the other two Iron Man. So it's actually kind of nice because we can see a progression of how the suit is, but also how it interacts as a figure as well. So that's really nice as well. Beautiful golds, darker red, darker gold in this case, just for a more modern Iron Man. And then the head to me seems a little small, not massive, just it seems a little bit small. I'm sure when I swap heads and put the Tony Stark head on, it's going to look ridiculous. But yeah, and of course the other big thing is the chest piece is the diamond or the triangle shape for the Uniblast or whatever you want to call it that comes out of there and basically houses his little reactor for his chest, for his heart. So yeah, there's that guy. So there's all three of them, and of course the figures are more than just the figures themselves. They do come with quite a bit of accessories that in this particular instance you could actually swap most of these accessories, or at least half of them. So going back to Model 20 Iron Man, he does come with alternate hands, which I will try to get my camera to focus on. And basically it's just the alternate hands are his other punch, his other grip hand or blast hand, whatever you want to call it, that goes on to, that's the other right hand, and this is the other left hand. So you can either have him punching or you can have him blasting. And then on top of that, he does come with 4 of these little blue blast effects. And yeah, they're just the straight on ones. So I'm assuming that you got 4 of them just because it's supposed to look like it's, you know, with the new sleeker suit, they should have sleeker blast. So they're like this. And yeah, he has 4 of those. If we go over to the Mark 9 or Model 9 Model Iron Man, this one just comes with an alternate set of blasting hands because he already has the fisted hands on. And of course, if I can get my camera to continue to focus, the tough thing about these is that they don't articulate. So I'm trying to get it so you can see. They don't articulate. It's just a complete, wow, come on camera. Work with me here. There we go. It's just a plug-in, so he's always going to have that open fist. And then on top of that, he does come with a couple different blast effects. He comes with these more, I guess we can call them retro, where you've got a little bit of blast coming out, and then that sleek line, similar to the Model 20. And yeah, it's very gummy, but these are nice, and they just plug into the palms. And then we also get these, we get 2 of these little effects, and I'm trying to figure out exactly, I guess they just plug into the palms to look like he's already fired and it's cooling down. So I guess they go in something like that. And again, I'll throw up some pictures here at the end so you guys can see what they look like. And then finally with the Model 1, we do get some interesting things with this one. We do get some of those sleek effects where it is shooting just like the one that came with the... Actually, these are not the same. They do have a little bit of burst on the bomb, so they did actually make them different. I thought they were the same as this one, but they are not. They are actually different. So those are nice. And then you also get a couple of these takeoff effects in black, or maybe you can put them on his arm. Oh, I thought they had pegs. Maybe they just go in his hands. I thought they were to make it look like, it's in Model 1 when he takes off, it's not exactly the cleanest takeoff. So yeah, you get a couple of those as well. You do get his alternate hands, his blasting hands, and those do have joints on them, so that's nice. So you can actually, they are hinged. That's nice. They do not have any openings in the bottom. That's why. So you actually, since he doesn't have openings on those, you can just put those in his hand. It looks like, gotcha. I think that's what it is. So there's the hands, and then of course you do get that alternate unmasked Tony Stark head, very reminiscent of Charles Bronson, very Death Wishy. So maybe people know what I'm talking about, maybe they don't. But yeah. So yeah, let's do this. Let's get these figures accessorized, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on each and every one of them, and I'll go ahead and rank them while I'm at it. Okay, so I kind of accessorized these 3 figures up a little bit, and definitely changed my opinion on maybe how I'm going to rank these. So we'll start with the Model 20. One thing I don't like about the Model 20 is that's essentially the shot you're going to get if you want him shooting his repulsor, or whatever it's called, not repulsor blast. There's no way for him to really shoot it outward without his elbow bent, because there's no hinge. I mean, there is a hinge, but you can't use it because of the gauntlet. So let me show you on the other one, so you can see essentially, see how it's got this little lip? That severely hinders the articulation. So your Iron Man's always going to be shooting like this. So not a big fan of that. You can see it just plugs in, and that's that. And of course you can also, if you want, you can plug it into the bottom of the feet, to make it look like he's lifting off. Obviously I couldn't put those in and show you, but there you go. You can make your Iron Man. And now the other thing I didn't like is that there's not enough articulation in the head well, maybe there is. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to make sure. Like, if you're going to do that, you want to make sure your Iron Man can at least look like he's flying, if you're going to go with that mode. So that looks kind of nice. If you have one of those clear stands, that could be pretty nice. But yeah, kind of disappointed in how that turns out with the blast effect, because you really can't make him do a lot of blast effects, unfortunately. So yeah, so there's that Iron Man. Moving on to the Model 9. Definitely cool, because at least with this one, even though those hands, it's kind of the opposite. They have the articulation where they can face out, but you can't do anything with them past that. That's all you get, folks. They don't actually articulate. So you can make him doing a really cool blast like that, but you can't really make him do much else. So, and again, you can take out these and you can put in these, whatever you want to call these after effects, maybe, if you want to make it look like, he's cooling down. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, basically these two other Iron Man, those Model 20 and Model 9 suffer the same issue, just in opposite ways. So yeah, there's that one. And then finally, of course, we have Model 1 in gold, and we have Tony Stark's head on there. One thing I did notice, and I'll bring it over here real quick so you can see, is there actually is another face in here. Now, granted, it probably has nothing but it's just eyeballs on a plastic head, and you can't get that out. But I was surprised. I thought the eyes were just built into the actual, I didn't realize it was another face underneath there, or a partial face. So there's that. I did put on this one, but there's nowhere to plug anything in on this one. So I was like, okay, well, what's with all these blast effects that we have? So I did set Tony back down here for a second. Essentially what you're supposed to do is this. You fit this through there, and you can't put this on his hand. At least no way I can figure it out. It's actually meant to go, he has two different pegs, one for blast effect and one for stands. So essentially that's what you're supposed to get. It's supposed to get an actual blasting, like he's flying away. And I like that design. I don't like that you can't get it to fit on his hands. And I even tried putting it on this one. I was like, well, what can I do to make it, maybe it just fits on there? And I couldn't figure it out. So maybe you guys in the comments know how this is supposed to be. Maybe you can make it, you can fake it, to make it actually work. I couldn't figure it out. I mean, maybe you could do something like, no, that looks stupid. So I don't know. If you have an idea, let me know in the comments. Also, make sure you like the video while you're down there. It really helps out the channel. But yeah, so there's Tony in the gold 1, Model 1. And yeah, obviously I'll have some videos of them spinning around in alternate configurations, but I think overall, if I was to rank these in just number order of what I like, let's see. You know what? I didn't do the one thing I said I was going to do, and that was, pop heads. So before we rank them, let's do some head popping. So there's that. Let's put Tony's gold head back on this guy. And let's just see what that Tony head looks like on some of the other ones. I got a feeling it's going to look okay on this one, but I got a feeling it's not going to look so okay on the others. Now, see, that looks really good. That might actually be the one I go with. Looking really good there. You do see a little bit there with the red of the joint of the neck, but that does look really good. I do enjoy that look. So let's pop that one off. What kind of amateur hour we got over here? All right, so there's that one. I will say they stand up fantastic. And finally, let's go with this Iron Man and see what that looks like. So I have a little bit of hopes with this one because he does have the... Oh, well, that's not what I expected at all. I thought the head would come off up there. Okay. Well, this could be problematic. Let's see if I can... Might have just broke my Iron Man, folks. Not broke him, but it's definitely going to be hard to get that back down in there. There we go. Okay, maybe this one doesn't come off where I thought it should. Try again, but better. There we go. Much better. So let's turn this thing around, get that neck joint correct. And yeah, that does not look very good. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just he looks like he has an extra long neck at this point. And there's a side-by-side. You can really see that head, especially with this mask, looks very large. So yeah, that doesn't work out very well. So let's pull it off. Hopefully you don't pull off the bottom piece of the neck this time. So get that back on there. There we go. Okay. So with that being said, here's Model 20, who also now doesn't want to stand up after I just say they stand up so great. Okay. So if I was going to rank these, I think just overall, after configuring them a little bit, I think this one's going to be my number one, but he is definitely going to be wearing the unmasked portrait of Tony Stark. Number two is going to be Model 1. I like the way it is. I like that the limited articulation makes sense because it is the Model 1. And sadly, this is number 3 by quite a distance because there's just not a lot you can do with this guy. So he looks really nice, but man, he's just got all sorts of hampered articulation because of the actual suit itself. But it doesn't make sense in this case because it's supposed to be the most modern version we have of the first wave. So yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna stand with 1, 2, 3. Let me know your order in the comments below. Have you picked up these guys? Did you get them at a deal? Definitely would not recommend paying full price for this line unless you are a huge Iron Man fan and you're building your own Hall of Armor. Like I said, I picked these up only because they were on sale and because these two caught my eye the most. I just grabbed this one because I figured, what the hell. But yeah, let me know in the comments which ones you picked up, which one your favorite is. And yeah, with that, I'm Mark. You've been watching Coffee with Toys, and I'll see you later.
Let's go.